Hi, and welcome to LubeTheCube.com's third edition cube review video. We're going to talk today about the granddaddy of them all, the Rubik's brand products.
The OG. We're going to do everything from the 5x5, 4x4, original 3x3, 2x2, studio, shadow, and Chinese DIY. Jamie, you want to take that out of the box while I get
sure,
started?
absolutely.
This is my original Rubik's Cube. Never been restickered. This is the one that my wife got me as a Christmas present in my stocking. So this is just ridiculously worn out. It didn't start out as good at all, but it's just been, if you can hear that, it just sounds like there's dust inside. It's so golden. This is my baby, my favorite. I rarely get this out. It's kind of hard to solve because you see it's kind of hard to line up the colors. But anyways, 3x3, you're going to notice, like, if you get it at Walmart or Walgreens, they all seem to be a little bit different, right, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, I think they might be made in different countries or different factories or whatever. One thing that I've noticed, and maybe I'm just mistaken, and it's just something that I've noticed, but it seems like the ones that have the darker orange stickers seem to turn a little bit better when lubed. The ones with the lighter orange, I've had some experience that just don't, even when you lube them, don't really respond or they respond, but it just, it'll slow you down and really hurt your wrists if you try to do finger tricks on them.
But let's talk about the 2x2. This is interesting. This is the Rubik's brand 2x2 compared to the
Yixing.
Yixing's definitely better. Just because
it's a bigger size, so it kind of gets.
But this is still cool. It's really small.
Yeah, and those are a lot harder than they look. I mean, you still have to know the bottom layer algorithms to solve those cubes.
At least the way we solve it. Okay, so 2x2, it is still good. The 4x4, I know it's a shame. I call myself a cuber, but it really does take me like over 10 minutes to solve one of these. Yeah. So, but these are nice. They don't turn as good as some of the other brands, 4x4s. 5x5, which is just as ridiculous. I'll just admit it, I can't solve it yet. I just really haven't put any time in it at all. But definitely, if you want to go for a 5x5 or something, I wouldn't choose the Rubik's brand. Some of the larger ones, 6x6, 7x7, definitely the V-Cube is the way to go. I do want to spend a little bit of time on the Studio Cube. Something entertaining. You might read the side of that box.
Rubik's Cube is a unique three-dimensional logical puzzle which develops both children's and adults' memory and logical thinking. The 26 colored small cubes offer a large number of different combinations. You must watch how the squares change their position as you rotate the different sides. If you can establish a pattern, then you are well on the way to solve the problem. So if you can get one side in 10 to 15 minutes...
10 to 15 minutes? Are you kidding me, Smalls? But that's what it says. Look at that.
10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes.
Dude, if you can't get a side in freaking 30 seconds, you suck!
You need to go to church. Okay, so, also, when I first got mine, I was curious as to whether it could be adjusted, like you do it yourself. And as you see on here, it can. However, like the center caps are so glued down, I literally broke my center caps. I don't know if you can see that when I was taking them off. And it doesn't really adjust that good. Again, this is an assessment off of one cube. You notice the orange is way brighter than the normal. The green is a little bit more muted. The other colors are a little bit more muted. And it, of course, has the old school style. From what I'm saying correctly, this is the only one that's still made by Professor Erno Rubik. Something else also, and this is a little bit more heavier.
Yeah, and one thing I'm going to say about this is I see a lot of sites out there selling these that claim that they can be a great speed cube with modification. I mean, really,
you'd have to do lots of sanding.
You'd have to do lots of sanding. You're going to have to do work on the core and screws. And honestly, there's no point in having this unless you want to have a studio cube.
Exactly.
Don't make this a speed cube. It's a waste of your money.
This is the Shadow Cube. A lot of you may have seen this. This is interesting because, man, it really does take you a long time to solve it. And I don't use the FTL when I solve this because I have a hard time matching the pairs of my eyes. I'll do it the original way. But as you can see, of course, white, black, gray, silver, different colors of gray on there also. Something else interesting is the Rubik's brand DIYs. Now, I can make its assessment because I've had 3 of these, okay? And I don't like them. Here's one. I don't have the center caps on, but even though, see how loose this is? It still won't. It won't turn easy. It's ridiculous. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean this is. I can see why people say that these are like Type Cs because they really kind of feel the same weight, and the plastic seems to be similar. But that's about where it stops right
Type
there.
Cs are definitely better.
I
don't
mean,
even like Type Cs.
You know, I mean, just taking this apart. I mean, you know, the hardware is terrible.
They are consistent. They're all the same, but they're consistently
I think
lousy.
that you could probably change cores and springs out this for Cube for You and maybe make it into something that's worth having. But again, I think you can do the same thing with a C. And so unless you just want to have it for, you know, to complete your collection, I don't know that it's better than Type C.
No, definitely not. Something interesting you notice I don't have the center caps on is because everybody is right. They do fall off. All of them. Again, I've had 3 of them, so I can make an accurate assessment. You can put that sticky tack that you had from 3rd grade that you used to chew on like bubble gum, the teacher would slap you in the back of the head. You can still put that on there with the cap, and it will stay. But you're just doing a lot of work for when you could get a Cube for You brand or maybe a modified other cube. I don't like it. Here's something also. What's that box? You saw that box?
Yeah.
Now this is interesting. This is a Mega House brand speed cube. You know, that comes with the whole kit, little screwdrivers, the how to solve a cube in Chinese and deep fry an egg roll at the same time. This is, they don't make these for the U.S., but Rubik's brand does make these for obviously foreign countries. Original color scheme.
Yeah, and one thing to remember, if you order one of these, forget about getting the lube because it will get caught in customs.
For some reason, they took out the lube in customs, and it was like $20, man. It's not worth it. I mean, it's kind of cool. I would say maybe it's slightly better than the ones you get off the website, but I don't know. I've only have one of them, and it comes pre-stickered, and it comes with, of course, little screwdrivers. These caps don't really pop off. I guess that's one good thing compared to the website. You get these little baby screwdrivers. We don't use these. We use just something we got at Walmart, the old Stanley's. It's the same type of screw and core setup, so who knows? It might be the same cube, just a little bit better. I mean, I really can't talk too much about it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think you could probably say the same thing about the Rubik's DIY you can get off their site. I mean, you could probably modify it. You could switch out the core and springs. I mean, there's definitely things that you could do with this cube. You could sand it. But, again, I mean, this to me is just like, why not get a Type C for cheaper? So unless you just want the Rubik's for completion or you want the brand,
exactly.
I don't see that the Type C is much different.
But what you need to do if you want the Rubik's brand is buy the Rubik's stickers and put them on a different type. We'll get to these. These are my favorite, probably Jamie's maybe second or third favorite.
Yeah,
these
absolutely.
are Cube for You brand cubes. Now, they're not a Type D from Cube for You. These are the brand, that in-house brand.
Yeah,
Okay.
in-house brand of Cube for You, and I think we'll probably dedicate a whole video to
Yeah,
that.
because they're worth it. So that's pretty much it. Again, Studio Cube, you don't see a lot of videos on these, and it's because they're pretty boring. They're clunky, hard to turn. Again, I'm making this assessment off of having one, so who knows, maybe I got a bad one, but I don't think so. I think this is just how they are, because I've played with some other Studio Cubes, like old original Studio Cubes, you know, with the same sticker and everything that people have had, you know, since, you know, before Arno Rubik's was born, and they're pretty lousy. But
so, and I think in an assessment of our Rubik's brand video, we'll tell you that, you know, the 3x3 for $10 that you can pick up at Walmart is great.
Great
try
starter cube.
to get one with the dark orange stickers if possible.
I wish we had a comparison on that.
I don't think we have one. I think the only ones with light stickers I've taken off the stickers. Yeah. But, you know, just remember when you're doing that to get the ones with dark orange stickers if possible, and you can lubricate it with anything. You can use the off of Rubiks.com lube that we showed you. You can do silicone lube. You can do, Vaseline, I guess, if you're desperate. But so it's a good starter cube. If you don't want to wait to have them delivered from China, it's a good
good honor to deliver cube to Randai.
Then you can go down to the store and grab one. So I think we're going to run out of time for this video. That was our assessment of the Rubik's brand.